Hey guys, we're switching it up a little bit today, and we have a comedian on the show. It's been a while since we've had a comedian, but he is a great comedian, very funny guy. Jeremy Hotz. He's award-winning actor, writer, and comedian from Canada, and he's got a tour lined up there right now, and we're going to talk about that, plus his work on Speed 2, his work on the Jon Stewart Show, his work with Jason Priestley on Call Me Fitz, and how he ran from the police, but also how he foiled an attempted mugging. Talk about his anxiety and so much more. Stay right there. Please welcome Jeremy Hotz to the show. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
You're so mellow. This is not what I expected.
It's early in the morning, and I'm not hyper when I wake up like that. I save that for the stage where it'll do some good.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me, you got this new tour, and how do you even say this? I don't want to say this wrong because I'm going to sound like an idiot. So I'll let you announce the name of the tour.
It's called the Marquis de Sade Tour. That's all
okay. I did have it right. Damn it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's we just dropped the E because I'm known as miserable, so that was sad. And then I looked like a moron, and then they put a wig on, and then I held my dog. That was it. That was the whole thing. That was the whole thing. And then everybody's gone crazy for the poster. Who knows? You never know when you come up with the title of a tour if it's going to be something that this one seemed to catch everyone by surprise. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it looked interesting. It was like a revolutionary. I don't know. There's probably some sort of smart thing behind it that I don't get because I'm dumb. But
me neither. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
It looks classy though. That's all. But it has nothing to do with the pervert, the real Marquis de Sade, who's like a. That's what sadists are named after. You realize that, right?
No, see, I didn't know this. This is why I like to learn.
Yeah, he was the first guy that liked slapping people, and that made him happy.
There's a lot of people like that in the world right now. I've noticed.
Yeah. Or there's a lot of people that could use one, right?
Yeah, that too. So, is it only Canadian dates right now? There's no U.S. dates. You live in the U.S.
I live here. Yeah, I play in the States too. I live here though. I play mostly clubs here, and then what I do is I work on the big theater shows, and I do them in Canada.
So you're bigger in Canada because you are Canadian.
Oh yeah, I'm from Canada. I moved from Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, but weren't you born in South Africa or something?
I was, but we were one when I moved. So I told my parents, "Hey, I don't agree with this apartheid crap," and they went, "The kid's right," and we left.
So who's your home comedy club in L.A.? Do you have one, or you just bounce around? Like, do you go to the Comedy Store? Are you regular there, or Laugh Factory, or
Factory, Improv, Comedy and Magic Club?
Oh, the one
Beach. The really good one. Yeah, the really good one. Yeah,
that one's really cool. I went to go see a friend perform there once, and it was sold out. So we're sitting there backstage, and all of a sudden, this really tall guy walks through the door. It was Kevin Nealon.
That's right.
I was like, holy shit!
Big stars. That's the Big Star Club, and that's the best club in California. Period.
Is it?
Absolutely. Yeah,
do they still do a lot of magic though? I didn't see any magic.
Well, it's variety is what they're really. It really should be called the Comedy and Variety, because sometimes it's a juggler, but he's juggling like a chainsaw, a bowling ball, and a severed head or something. You know what I mean? Like the crazy.
Sounds interesting.
Magic that variety's changed, to put it that way. It's like I saw a guy walk on, and he had taught his dog to open and close his mouth like this, and he did ventriloquism like he was doing the dog's voice. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And it timed with the dogs.
It's pretty good. I mean, you got to say it's pretty good. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, you yourself, I mean, tell me about these awards that you've won. The 2 Canadian comedy awards. I don't know, I'm not familiar with them. The Dave Broadfoot Comic Genius Award, and then the Best Male Stand-Up in 2009.
Yeah, the Broadfoot Genius Award there. That's a big deal for Canada there. That's a big one. That's not like just a best comic of the year thing. That's kind of like here. We like you. We're good. We're calling you a genius. Enjoy. And then they give you a shard piece of glass that you can't take on the plane because they think it's a weapon.
So how did you have to ship it home then, or what?
I wrapped it up in newspaper, and because it was a Canadian airline, they didn't even look through my luggage.
Oh, well, that's good to know. I feel safe now.
So
What
that,
about?
whatever. Listen, it's a very nice thing to be awarded something in your career because you don't really
Mhm,
go looking for anything, right? You just
mhm.
all you want to do is do stand up and make people laugh, and then when you're recognized for anything, you should be grateful.
Right, but isn't that the whole point of stand up? You want to, yeah, you want to make a lot of people laugh. Like if it's just your family, then you're not really a stand up comedian.
Right. But you'll say you are. There's a lot of that going on, right? A lot. I'm a comic, really? Yeah, I do open mic night on, three times a month. Wow. It's like there's a lot of that going on. Everyone's a comic now, right? Have you noticed?
Well, yeah, or a supermodel on
Yeah.
Instagram. Yeah, everyone could be a supermodel now. It's amazing.
That's just like what remember MySpace?
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on Instagram right now with all the supermodels and the women wearing bathing suits? That's the same thing that happened on MySpace, except they were naked. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's what OnlyFans is for. Now, see, now they can make money off of that. If they don't just post it for fun and attention, they can actually make a lot of money off it.
Off of what? The when they're actually naked and then they for their own fans?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know that girl, like the Cash Me Outside girl, whatever that was on Dr. Phil? She's
Yes.
like one of the highest paid OnlyFans people. Like, I think she made like $16 million last year or something from OnlyFans.
That's incredible. And she's not even doing porn. She's just showing herself naked.
I don't even know if she's naked. She might just be in bikinis. I don't know, but she makes this $16 million and that's the talent, is just being a cute girl.
And I waste my time writing an act.
Doesn't that get frustrating? Like, I will think I do a really good podcast and I have these great questions and a rapport with a guest, and I feel so like cocky almost. And then I'll see this girl on Instagram post a bikini photo and it'll get 2 million views. And I'm
Of
just
course. Of
I
course.
want to quit.
Half the people looking at it are guys. Of course it will. I mean, we're visual.
Yeah.
I mean, what do women do? Hey, look. And then we do. Our whole lives, we look. That's what they do. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then they go,
didn't-
don't look at me. What?
Well, yeah. And tell me the story. Didn't you play the Playboy Mansion? You said that was your best and worst gig. Tell me that story. I don't know the story behind this.
I did play I didn't play the Playboy Mansion. I went to the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, you didn't have a gig there?
No, I met a girl. I don't want to talk about that story.
It's really that bad?
Yeah, it's not one of the better ones. You know what I mean? Hey,
Damn.
yeah, I went to the Playboy Mansion once. That's the whole story right there.
I mean, that's still pretty amazing that you got to do that. But have you seen that? Have you seen the new documentary on Hefner?
I did. Well, I haven't seen the thing, but I've seen it advertised. Yeah.
Well, that was creepy. I did not know a lot of that stuff.
Oh, you've watched it already?
Yeah.
Is
It
it
was
very?
really-
Is it very creepy? Like
It's
in an
pretty
Epstein
creepy.
kind of way, or what?
Yeah, it borders that. I mean, some of the stuff he did and kept cameras, and it seemed like a weird dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it was a weird thing to have a mansion with just like naked women walking around it, Seriously. Like, come on. Like, what are you doing there?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I feel like people say, I don't know, I think, does power corrupt people, or do people who are corrupt go get power? I don't know what comes first, the chicken or the egg, but
I have no idea. But, without him, there wouldn't have been Playboy. And didn't his daughter take over the magazine and then take all the nudity out of it?
yeah, I don't think it's going so well right now. Well, I mean, because again, you got there's so much internet porn for free. Why would anyone buy a magazine?
Because Playboy was a classy magazine. It was classy naked women.
You can be classy on Instagram and OnlyFans, I think.
Yeah, well, the OnlyFans just sounds like another name for just porn. It come on, it does. OnlyFans, all right, yeah, sure. Here, what's going on in there? That's like massage parlor. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. I've always been curious because I discovered you it had to have been like the 90s when you went viral. I think it was the Just Laughs. Was that where your first big thing that went that you had like a 7 or 10 minute clip or something that went viral? Well,
No, it
was
was
viral back then, but
Comedy Central, I think, probably presents went crazy. That's probably what it was in America. If you were in the States, that's probably it. Because you didn't get Just for Laugh stuff, did you?
Oh yeah, well, I don't know what it was. Yeah, I think it was Comedy Central. It's probably called something else, but I remember seeing you like in college, and I was really into stand up in college.
Oh, you probably saw stuff like I'm famous in Australia because they just for laughs sent those things. They had, they had a thing with Australia, so all this stuff went to Australia. So I have all these Australian fans. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. It's wherever they send it,
Do you
But
ever
just for
tour
laughs
there?
wasn't on in America, which is why I'm more famous in Canada than in America. Had it been, it would be the same.
Oh, okay.
That's it. That's it.
Okay. So explain the process, because I've always wondered this, and I listened to some interviews, and I cannot find the story of how exactly you developed your stand-up persona. I know that it was a festival in Montreal, and people were telling you, you got to do it this way and do it that way. And then you just came up with this character, but like, had you practiced that before, or did
It's
you just
just
think of it in
me.
your
I
head?
mean, I was so nervous when I was there the first time that I put my hand in front of my face, and my friend said, "You got your hand in front of your face. Don't do that. You got to show your face when you go on." And then they kept saying, "Take your hand away from your face." And I only found out that I only realized I was doing it when they told me. That was it. And then it was just the way I was feeling at the time. And then I felt like, very isolated. And then I went on and I did what do you call it? A new faces show, because I was young
Okay.
and I annihilated. Jesus Christ, So I'd had all this high energy, and I just sort of stood there and told them how I really, my body language told them what I was really feeling like, and that was the beginning of the end for me because I wasn't going to jump around on stage like a crazy person anymore at all.
Were you doing that before?
Yeah, I had energy. I had crazy energy and I didn't know how to control it. And, there was that. And I just hadn't found myself yet at all. And then right before the festival, I did, which was really lucky. It was very good timing for me because I broke out because of that.
Yeah. So it's like the hand in front of your face, but also it's like I heard people say that you're on the verge of cracking up, but I feel like it's cracking up laughing. Like you're like, or sorry. Someone said you're on the verge of tears, but I think it's more like you're on the verge of like you're gonna laugh hysterically.
It's all that,
It's all that.
it's like nothing you've ever seen before is what he's trying to tell you. And that's
Yes.
how
No, it
you'll
is.
remember it because there's no other Hotz. You can't do it except if you're me. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
You have to be angst riddled and have generalized anxiety disorder, or else you can't really do me.
So it's just like kind of an exaggerated version of
Totally.
yourself.
Totally.
Okay.
That's what it is. When I'm at my absolute worst, when the meds aren't working and the doctor won't give them to me and he's not even really my doctor.
So you're still doing the meds and stuff?
I can't do the big strong meds, eh? That's the problem. That's the major problem because the big strong meds for anxiety I wouldn't be able to write material. You can't. So I actually still have to, it's not as bad as it used to be. I still go through some stuff before I go on. It's not an easy time,
Right, because if they give you the really strong stuff, then it takes the whole edge off, and
Yeah,
then
you go to sleep, essentially.
like Ativan and stuff like that.
You walk around like a millennial, a zombie. I'm such an ass. Good Lord.
No, but and then do you still have your emotional support dog?
Yeah,
Shackleton? Yeah.
Shackleton, the Wonder Dog. Yeah, I still got him, and I bring him on the road, and he's becoming quite a bit of a celebrity. When I walk him down the street, I'll hear Shack, and then he'll look, at me, and I'll go, I don't know that guy either, man. I don't know why he's yelling your name. Just keep walking. Let's pretend we didn't hear it.
So he's okay with the fame and like going on the airplanes and stuff. That doesn't bother him.
He likes being with his dad. I don't think he likes the autograph line. No, but he's got to do it because, he's learning to be a team player.
Is there an autograph line after the shows?
Oh, yeah. Geez, my God. Sometimes that's longer than the show.
That's cool that you do that because some comedians just bolt after the show.
No, I don't do that. My fans come first, and that's the way it is. Period. Always will be. Always has been. That's just the way I am. Without them, there's no me.
Right.
It's not like if you look at my career, I've been one of those guys the networks all go this guy, that guy. I pay no attention to them at all.
Did you ever have
fans?
Because I know you've done Leno and Letterman and stuff. Did anyone ever pitch you like a series for yourself or anything like that, though?
Oh, many times, but I mean, obviously, there's that ethnic problem.
Ethnic?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, we got a problem there, and I'm too New York for some things, if you know what I mean.
Or too Canadian?
No, not Canadian enough, apparently. Yeah,
Oh, is that the
whatever.
problem?
I guess I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting.
It's odd that you can be a household name for something in a country and never really have your own show.
Really?
Yeah, that's
So
that.
you're that big in Canada? Like you're like a household. Like if I go to Canada and say your name, people know who you are.
Yes. Yes.
And they wouldn't give you a show.
Well, I never really, who cares? Why do you think I left?
You like
I
LA
knew
better?
this. I knew this.
Yeah.
I moved years ago.
Yeah. You like LA better than Canada?
Listen, it's my life. I live here, I mean, there's nothing. I love the Canadian people, most of them. But the bottom line is I don't live there anymore, but I'm still Canadian as hell. Like I watch the hockey on satellite TV. I mean, you can't stop me being. I'm wearing a Vancouver Canucks hat. They're not even my team. It's just
Who's your
laundry
team?
day. I like the Leafs. I don't like to say it, but I do. They
Is that
haven't
the
won
close? Because you're from, is it Ottawa, right? So is that the closest team? Or?
There was no Ottawa when I was a kid. There was no Ottawa hockey team. So it was Toronto. My brother was a Montreal Canadiens fan. So I was a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. That's the way it was. Yeah.
That's
Back in the day, man, when growing up in Ottawa. Yeah. It's changed.
That's got to be culture shock coming from Canada to LA. That's like two polar opposites. Well, I guess in some ways, the weather wise, at least.
I lived in New York first. I wrote on the Jon Stewart Show for a year and a half. And so I got to live in New York. And so I had a bit of a prelim to it, but there's nothing like Los Angeles. It took me, I mean, like it's violent. It's different than Canada. I mean, like the guy today asked me, I did a thing for Winnipeg, and the guy asked me, you live in America. So, aren't you worried everybody there has a gun? And I'm like, dude, not everybody here has a gun. I have drones.
Yeah. Well, so tell me about, you mentioned the Jon Stewart thing. So tell me that story, because didn't you submit the sketches to Kids in the Hall first, and then Jon Stewart got a hold of them, and then they hired you from those based on those sketches?
No, I submitted sketches to the Kids in the Hall, and then I submitted sketches to the Jon Stewart Show, and then I got the Jon Stewart Show.
They were separate sketches. They weren't the same ones.
Yeah, they weren't the same. Oh, I think, mate, I don't know. I don't know if it was a similar pack. It might have been a similar pack. The way you send out a pack. And then I'd never sent anything out before. And then I got a gig like right away, man. Like they didn't know who I was or anything, right? I just got a gig, man.
Was that before you kind of broke out through stand-up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Like my manager at Just for Laughs that year that I broke out was the executive producer of the Jon Stewart Show, Barry. I met him there. And then I said, I don't have a manager. And he said, I'll do it. And then I broke out in Montreal that year just by chance.
Okay. So
that's what happened. It was all just like everything just happened. What can I say? I mean,
Yeah. Well, what were the sketches? Do you remember you must have had some good ones.
I can't remember. They were one was about a cockroach. I don't remember. But we wrote some really funny things on that show. I wrote with Dave Attell on that show. He was
way, really?
Oh yeah, Dave Attell was on that show. Who else was on that show that you would know? Tom Hertz, another stand-up comic from the back in the day, and he became a showrunner. There were like all the guys on that show. A lot of them anyway were like stand-ups, like Steve Higgins from like the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, the sidekick Steve.
Mm-hmm.
He was the head writer on that show.
Oh,
yeah.
So what did you learn from working on that show?
Oh, never be a writer on a sitcom on a show. Never do that, because
really?
You write the jokes and then another comic says your stuff. That's garbage. I wanted to say the jokes, so no, I never do that again. So I got to act in a lot of stuff because I was a good actor, and that's why I had a really good time in the show because of that.
Okay. But then you did the Newsroom show. Well, I didn't see that. Is that a Canadian show? Because I never saw it.
It was a show. Yeah, it was shot in Canada. It was on the Foofy network and PBS. That's where it was on in America. Yeah, they
Okay.
was, and then it was like the Newsroom was before. The Newsroom was like it was like a like a behind the scenes look at a newsroom, except it wasn't. There was another show called Newsroom that was a drama, an Adam Sorkin thing.
Oh,
That's not the show.
yeah. The Newsroom. This was different. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and it was a comedy, and it was really funny, and it was done in like a very played down style. It was really good, and we won awards for that.
Yeah. You won a Gemini. What is that? The Canadian Emmy or what is that?
Yeah, it's like a Canadian Emmy. I think they changed the name. It used to be called the Golden Mountie.
Really? Wait, I thought Mountie was a Canadian police. Is that?
Yeah, Mounted Police.
Okay.
Everybody jokes about the Mounties, but that's why there was no Wild West in Canada. We had like guys on horses shooting bad guys. They didn't have that in the West.
Right. Oh. Your bit on the USA versus Canada. Oh my God, that's so classic. Is that still one of your most favorited bits from everybody, all your fans?
Yeah, they do. There's more of it too. I've written more about the difference. Now that I've lived here, I can really tell like the differences between the Americans and Canadians. Yeah, we just look the same. It's completely different people. Canadians are closer because I've been to England. They're closer to English people. They are.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, it's more Europeanized, is what
it is.
Yeah.
In mentality wise, you know what I mean? And if you look at the way they make their buildings too, it's very American, and then there's really European for a second. You know what I mean? It's like Canada kind of has culture a little, although they never mention it.
Right.
I mean, what do you know about Canada? What's the first thing you think of when you hear Canada?
Well, so I grew up in Seattle. So for me, Canada was like the place that I'd go to drink when I was 19. I'd drive over to the border and go to Vancouver. And I was like, oh, I could go to a bar. This is so cool. It was awesome.
See, now let me tell you something. I grew up in Ontario where you could drink when you were 18, but it was right next to Hull, which is Quebec. And you could drink when you were 3 in Hull. So we all just used to go over there ever since we were young, man, because you could buy beer in the grocery stores when I was a kid in Quebec.
With no age limit?
Not really. No. The French
like,
are very
Mexico.
free, and the French are very liberal when it comes to things like that. Drinking, nudity, stealing.
Do they have a lot of problems with stealing over in Canada?
No, I just said it.
I feel like people are so polite in Canada. Like it would just be too rude to steal something, right?
I don't know. I mean, look at you never trust Quebec. That's all I'm saying. All right, it's because they speak another language. So the whole thing about it is they're plotting. Like that's what it comes from. That's right. So. All the internet went down in Canada one day. I don't know why. I think one of the major carriers had a big problem. So all the internet was off for Canada. And I thought, Quebec's going to attack.
That would be funny. Do they have I never think of that, like Canadian Army. There has to be some sort of military there, right?
Oh, no, we have military. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. No, we have good military.
You just never hear about it
or anything. They need, in every war, you need a country to show up, get in the middle and go, hey guys, break it up. And that's what we're good at. All right. Canadians are good at that.
With that voice too.
Look, there's only fighting if a hockey game is happening. That's Canada. Hockey,
that's true.
We fight over hockey, nothing else.
Right. How come nobody ever talks about, you always hear, I'm in Arizona now, right? So I always hear, they're always talking about the border and all this, the border security. You never hear about the border to Canada.
Oh, we don't have a border? What do you do? Seriously. I think it's a line. You can go across it. Okay, whatever. Welcome. Just go back the same way you came.
But America's starting to get kind of nutty. Like, do you think Canadians are starting to worry like Americans are going to start coming into their country, or
I think they do already. I think every time there's an election, I think there's a movement of Americans into Canada, right? Because they're not going to put up with whatever president they're electing or something. I'm putting my foot down and I'm moving to Canada. And then they move to Canada and they go, hey, the prime minister's shit. there you go. It's just bad everywhere. That's what happens in the world. Sorry. It's never going to be like it was when you were a kid, because everything was fanciful when you were a kid. Do you remember? Like, remember how much snow you thought you had? It's because you were smaller. That's all. I mean, it's the whole thing. The world wasn't really better. I think we just know more about it now, so we're much more wary. You know what I mean? Like, do you watch those crime shows?
Oh yeah, like Forensic Files. Holy shit, that scares me. Talk about generalized anxiety.
Yeah, those are bad for the world. Those true crime things were about the murders. Come on.
But isn't it good for people to be cautious? I think sometimes people are too trusting.
I watch those shows for one reason only. When they catch the guy, I can say, "You idiot." That's the only reason. That's it. That's the only reason.
But isn't there a part of you too, when you watch those, you go, yeah, you idiot. You think like, if I was going to kill somebody, I would never do this, 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 and this, even though like, hopefully you wouldn't ever kill somebody, but you think in the back of your head, right, if I was going to kill somebody, I would never get caught.
No, that's what the psychopaths think. The regular people think, why would you want to kill somebody?
No, you think that too.
Concept of it, yeah. The whole concept is just so, I got to kill this person. What?
Yeah,
and on purpose? What are you, nuts? That's ridiculous.
Right. And then it's like because normal people would have guilt. That's what stops you from doing that.
But they don't. They say they don't have it. They say that they don't. They say that a true psychopath doesn't have any guilt, right? So if you kill someone, you don't feel bad about it, which is weird to me.
But see, even without the guilt, wouldn't you have the fear of going to prison?
Yeah.
That would be enough. Even if you didn't have the guilt, it'd be like, oh, I don't want to spend the next 30 years of my life in prison.
Nobody wants to spend any time. You know what? They don't even have a door. Like, the toilet is right in the middle. People can watch you take a dump if you're in jail. That's horrible. There's no doors or anything. Come on. There's no privacy. That's what keeps me out of the jail. The whole where the toilet is thing.
Have you ever had any brushes with the law?
No. What are you talking about? I mean, come on. Once driving back from the Laugh Factory, a cop chased me.
Chased you?
Yeah, he was behind me in his car there, but I got away. What? I got a Mini, and I know the route, and I know to click the clicker in the garage before you get there, and I just went right in. And that was the end of it. And then I called my friend, because the cop was parked outside there, and I said, "Can he do anything?" And he went, "No, he can't. Just stay inside. Don't go outside." That was it. That was the end of that.
Really? Did he have his lights on and stuff?
Yes, he did.
So then he just gave up?
Nothing they can do, man. Really, I was, once I was on my property, apparently, according to my friend, he would need a warrant. You've seen that on those shows.
Yeah. So that's the tip. If you're speeding and a cop tries to pull you over, just drive home, go in your garage, shut the door, and they can't. I
wasn't speeding. Okay.
Oh.
I went through, it was my neighborhood. I was going home, and I went through 2 or 3 stop signs is what I did just to get there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then he, I guess, saw me doing that because he was hanging around the neighborhood like a creep. And then I just kept going, though. So I had a bit of a lead on him, and that was enough.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're more of a rebel than I thought.
I'm not proud of the story, really. I'm not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. Follow the law, whether it's a cop or a Mountie, you got to listen to him.
I remember what it was. I was going home, and he put the lights on, and I went, "Oh, I got to take a piss. I'm not going to." I just stuck off because I had to go take a pee. That's all I did. That's all it was. I didn't want to deal with it.
I always wondered that. So yeah, what if you really have to go to the bathroom really bad, and the cop pulls you over? That could be, and that's why you're speeding, because you got to get home. It's an emergency.
Whatever. I got out of it. I'm not proud of it. I got away from a criminal once too. I almost got mugged, but I talked my way out of that too. The other way too.
What? Tell me this story.
I was walking the dog, and then a guy came out of the bushes, and he went, "Give me your wallet." And I just looked at him, and I went, "I don't bring my wallet when I take the dog for a walk." And he just walked away. He turned around and walked away. And I had my wallet the whole time. I just lied to the guy. Yeah.
Wow, that's ballsy. I love it.
Yeah. There's a half-hearted mugger, wasn't he? Didn't really just gave up immediately. It was like incredible. A simple lie thwarted his plan. Jesus.
Did you just think of that like right on the spot, or did you
just said that right away? Again, thinking of not the money, the credit. I don't want to go get new credit cards. You ever have to do that? Oh my God.
Oh yeah, even when you like your credit card runs out after the expiration date, and then they send you a new one, and then you have to change all your automatic payments and
all of them. You see, it's a garbage world, man. It's a garbage world. That's the problem.
But it's still not as bad as, remember having to like write a check and like mail it to the electric company and stuff? Oh, yeah. That was hell.
Writing checks, you mean?
Yeah, and having to mail. That was so annoying, trying to find stamps and envelopes and like, oh, that was such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you don't have to do that anymore.
No,
now they take it directly out of your account, so you can't keep track of it.
Right? Yeah, they do it, which is better for me because otherwise I wouldn't budget enough to pay the bills, probably.
Yeah, listen, but I do my best, right? Do you have a business manager?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm a shitty podcaster with like 10 followers. I don't have a business manager. I'm my manager. I'm my production assistant. I'm everything.
Okay, I was just asking. Relax. Okay.
No, I've just never been. That's hilarious that you would think. I feel special that you thought I might have a business manager.
I don't know. Maybe you got something on the side that you're doing. I don't know. Maybe you invested in Tesla. I have no idea what you
That would have been a good investment. Or what's the other one that everyone always, the crypto thing? What's it called?
I don't know if you make any money off
Bitcoin?
That crypto. Everyone seems to lie that they do, but they're not rich, so I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Well, right, it's like the thing. Well, people are trying to jump on it now, and I told my friend, I'm like, look, dude, you're like 20 years too late for this. Like when it first came out,
though, because you never know. I guess there's some way, but look at it when everybody went west to get gold. Remember that back in the days? You heard about it, the rush. I'm sure one guy went late and found some. So they're,
possible.
Like,
well, most of the people that were there first probably
they had a better shot, you would think, right?
Yeah. You don't want to be too. It was like my buddy who was buying all these houses in like 2008, and then the market just boom, it crashed. I'm like, you're a little late on that.
Dude,
bandwagon.
That happened to a friend of mine. Don't kid yourself. Like when the bottom fell out of the real estate market. He had just spent like $1 million or something on it, and then his house was worth like 100,000.
Yeah, there's so many stories like that.
Yeah, I mean that was like and I bought a house when the thing plummeted. That's when you were supposed to buy them. Remember when they were?
Yeah.
cheap?
Oh, okay. That was after the prices plummeted.
Yeah.
Is that the house you're in now?
Yeah. This is my dump. It's not a dump. I got a really nice place, but those stairs you go up, and then there's a naked woman that I pay to just stand at the top of the stairs.
Really? That sounds fun. You'll have to have me over sometime. That sounds like a blast.
Yes, it's my fans only thing. I like to.
You should get on there. There's somebody.
I gotta get on there.
Yeah.
Mind if I show myself naked on Facebook? I don't really care.
Do you?
Well, sometimes,
Huh.
Not
like Tommy Lee when he just drops the dick pic and just.
I don't do that, man.
Okay.
Those are guy who wants to see a guy's junk. Come on.
I don't think anybody
I never
does.
understood that. I never understood. Like, hey, I'm gonna send you a picture of my groin. What? Oh, I can't wait to. How does a woman see it and be happy? This is joyous. God.
I think that we think because we like to see them naked that they must want to see us naked.
It's called junk for a reason. It's garbage.
Oh God! We got like 5 more minutes. Okay. Oh, I have some other questions for you though.
Okay.
Some of the TV film work you've done is kind of intriguing. Like you did that show Call Me Fitz with Jason Priestley. Tell me about that experience because I loved 90210. I was a big fan of that. Is he really that cool in real life?
Yeah, he is. He's a really good guy. And I hadn't had any because he's an actor, right? So I never ran into the guy, but he's Canadian too, like me.
Sure.
I never ran into the guy before, but I got this gig, and then it turned into 4 episodes. It was, and so I got to stay in Halifax and work with their cast for, for 4 shows. It was great. And I was working with him, was really good. And he's a really good looking guy. And he had a car accident, right? Did you know this?
Yeah, I heard
And he
about that.
smashed up his face. And you see the guy, and he's still way better looking than me. Unbelievable.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm sure. Yeah. People like that piss me off, but that's good. So he's a nice guy in real life too.
Oh yeah, he's a really nice and funny. He's a funny guy. He's got like a really good sense of humor, Jason Priestley. He really does.
Huh. Is it good to do those acting gigs? Like, because don't you get like a royalty check? Like, if
the
you do a
money?
bunch of them? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you don't think about that though. You do it to, there's a whole camaraderie thing to it. Like when you're working with other funny people, acting is a different thing than stand-up's just my show and with the mic and the thing, and it's all my thing. This is a collaborative effort. It's a different thing, and you're working with a team to make the best possible thing. And there's safety in numbers. It's like you got a whole army of people working towards, and it was a really good experience, honestly.
Yeah. What about Speed 2? Was that fun? I know the movie didn't do as well, but like that's a big budget movie. That's probably the biggest budget movie you've ever were a part of, right?
Yeah, I was gone for 8 months shooting that movie. Yeah.
Really? Was your role that? I'd have to rewatch it. I haven't seen it since it came out.
Months.
But
I was in Cyprus and we left Florida. Oh my God, that took forever to make that movie. My God,
Wow.
I mean, it must have been horrible. But I got to drive a wave runner with Willem Dafoe. I got to hang with I forget her name now. I blanked.
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, got to hang with her, and then I did right after that movie. I got to do another one called My Favorite Martian, and I got to hang with Elizabeth Hurley and Daryl Hannah.
Ooh.
Yeah, eh? Remember Splash, the chick from
Splash? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Elizabeth Hurley, oh man, she was so beautiful back in the day.
Stunning woman. That's like a model stunning woman, Like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know you got to get going here. Tell me about, are you still doing the radio show on Sirius?
Yes, the radio show is now.
Hotz?
Yes, the new show, the hilarious House of Hotz is on. It's on Sundays at 7 on channel 138. It's on in America as well on demand from Sirius as well. You can get it. Once again, the hilarious House of Hotz is what it's called. I interview my friends who are actually famous. So there you go. That's all it is. And it takes place here. This is my set, essentially, what you're looking at.
Oh, nice.
That's why I have better lighting than most people do, because that was part of the deal. It had to be easier. I knew I wouldn't do it. So they decided to do it from the bottom of my stairs.
Okay, nice.
They figure I walk by here every day, so I could just quickly do a show.
Is it on? So is there video component too, or is it only audio?
That's coming too.
Oh, okay.
On YouTube very shortly, and then we're also going to run it on Facebook Live and Instagram. So don't worry about that. You'll see it. It's coming.
Okay, cool. So we got the tour, we got the radio show. Anything else you want to promote?
No. I'm not really good at promoting stuff. Oh, we got the charity thing, right?
Yeah. We got the charity. Your publicist said something about something. Now I forgot what it was.
It's Comedy Gives Back is what we talk about here, and it's like some like not all comics get to, it doesn't go well for everybody. You know that, right? So it's a tough thing, and there's nothing really looking after the people that don't really flourish, and this is what this is. And if you can donate by texting laugh to 707070, or you can go to comedygivesback.com and you can read about what they do for people that are struggling with this. This is a very if you're not in it, you don't really know. It's a very difficult business where different. A lot of people that you have never seen are really good at not getting an opportunity. It really isn't 100% based on talent. It is
that's what I'm learning after doing these. I'm on this almost 300 episodes of my podcast, and I'm learning, hearing these stories. It's really interesting. And I actually just had somebody on who's very successful, but he didn't have his first hit until he was 40 years old. And he said, look, you can do everything right in the entertainment business or music business
and lose,
and you could still not make it.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
it's very. Look at serendipity. You never know, So, but and because there's no union, so who's looking after guys? Nobody.
Right. Or health insurance. How do you get health? I mean, not Canada.
None of that. None of that.
That's cool that there's a charity for that. I did not know this existed. So I will put that in the show notes along with your website. People can see you in Canada. Hopefully you'll do a US tour. Or I'll have to drive to LA. I'm only 5 hours away, or now it's like 7 with traffic, but
if you're in Cali, you can see me at the, I'm always playing out down at the Comedy and Magic Club or the Improv. You'll be able to see me, no problem.
Do you put your like your weekend, if it's local, do you put those dates on your website, or how would
I don't. People get really mad at me that I don't do that.
Like if I'm in LA and I'm like, I want to see you, how do I know where to go?
It's a good question. Usually, I would say that usually, I'm on Bands in Town, and usually Bands in Town, I
love that site.
So then it tells you if you follow.
Okay. All right. Very cool. I'll let you go. I know you got another interview. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Okay. You have a good day. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Jeremy. Thank you again to Jeremy Hotz. Check out his website for current tour dates, or check out his stand-up specials or clips online. Very funny comedian. I hope he comes to my neighborhood soon. Did you enjoy this interview? Do you like comedians? Let me know in the comments if you think I should do more of this. And also, if you're on YouTube, check out my comedians playlist. We have a bunch of great comedians that have been on the show, like Mark Normand, Fahim Anwar, Tommy Chong, and many, many more. And also make sure to subscribe wherever you listen or watch so that you'll stay up to date with future episodes. Have a great rest of your day, and remember to shoot for the moon.